And like, I think Catholics go back and forth about this all the time, you know. Healthcare. Who's got big business in their pocket and who's got lawyers in their pocket? Okay, you know, instead of going, well, gee, you know, there's an awful lot of people out of work that have got to scrape together nickels, or else they're going to go bottoms up the first time they end up going to a doctor. You know, that's a real need. Okay.
I think that speaks to the Dominican balance between contemplation and action. And there is this tension that isn't sometimes very comfortable to live that balance.
Oh yeah, yeah. And it's going to depend an awful lot on how you were raised too. You know, I had the chance. I sort of like turned off most of my upbringing when, after a certain point, became agnostic. So part of it, I come into Christianity going, where's the truth? Where's the truth as a 20-year-old? Okay, and so I could drink in more things without kind of a, you know, there's more possibility with this kind of an approach than with, oh, the world is a vale of tears. Well, there's tears, but there's also joy, isn't there? You know. Thanks. Yes.
When you said that basically we have the three precepts of seek, judge, and act.
Yeah.
And then I think so much in our society, what happens is we get to the first two parts, and then somewhere between the second and the third, it just kind of says, why bother?
Yeah, see, judge, and let somebody else do it.
Yeah. So, and that's an issue with me, because you don't know where you offend. You don't know where you. If I write letters to the editor about Right to Life, or if I write
Sure.
Obama and tell him just what I think of his policies and stuff like that, then where do, I guess the question is, and maybe this gets down to the individual, but where does it seem like I'm saying, I'm right, you're wrong, forget it?
Yeah.
And to me, that's a tough issue. You know, to me, that's a tough issue. Like, I understand the issue between prison and death penalty. You know, it's kind of almost like a mercy killing. But I guess the question is, how do we determine, or there's so many shades of gray about what's right for the common good.
Yeah. I mean, like,
you could pick and choose and be wrong in every one of them.
If I were king of the forest. Okay, we all don't get to judge everything, do we? No, but part of it is we add our part and see what comes out on the other side. And part of this, part of the Dominican way, it seems to me, if Thomas is a Dominican, is you listen to the arguments of the other side and you say, you know, and you even make them stronger. Okay? I understand the abortion thing. Okay? Poor, no ability. This is going to hamper in a lot of ways. This is a frightening thing for a young lady. Okay? What in the world to do? Okay? And, you know, it's poor, usually poor and woman, okay, pregnant, that usually becomes the poster child in the middle of the abortion debate. You say, well, yeah, I understand that. Is there another way we could work with somebody who is poor and you know, without shame, bring them to the place where they can bring their child to term and have somebody adopt or something like that? You know, and at the same time say, you know, I believe that life is a gift. And that's why I respect that problem of the predicament of the poor woman, poor young woman who's pregnant, or the poor older woman who has, you know, maybe 7 or 8 children already, okay, and maybe 3 or 4 different husbands, or 3 or 4 different fathers of them. What am I going to do now? Okay, so you know, part of the society coming out into this thing is us listening to the other side of the argument and being able to tell the truth, point to the truth inside there and go, yeah, it doesn't seem to me like this is the right thing to kill the baby. Okay. So again, I think this is part of our Dominican way of doing this is with Thomas. You know, he could strengthen the arguments of. I have a wonderful thing about this, and because I have you here and you're trapped. Oh, I don't have them with me. Oh, I'm sorry. But a big quote about how he left, every argument he left, the other person felt that they hadn't been ignored rather than they had been respected. Okay, that was by Benedict XV, etc. Yes.
And if you were to recommend, I know you have a lot of textbooks and stuff like that you probably deal with in college, but
Yeah.
if you were to recommend a book
Okay.
for a good summary of the Summa.
Well, the Summa.
Yeah, because, that's like 4 or 5 volumes. I might not make it through all this.
Yeah, I don't think I made it yet through that. Okay.
And just a good summary of this, where it brings all of these points to bear and.
I don't know that there is one. I think that's a real problem. Walter Farrell's thing, the companion to the Summa, was something that people used to use in the past as a little 5-volume easy read kind of thing. But I don't think he does this. I think you got to get a human being to do this kind of stuff. And somebody that's interested and so forth. Even for the Catholic social justice teachings, I look for skinny books. Okay, there's one by Meckman that's tied to the Catechism. Okay, what's it called? Person, Society, and the Common Good, or something like that. But I go looking for skinny books when I have to deal with ordinary people. Okay, only scholars would do this to themselves. Okay, so are there skinny books about St. Thomas? Yeah, there are. Okay, but they oftentimes don't descend to this kind of fleshiness. And fleshing of the teaching. Yes?
One of the things I've noticed, I have 3 children that are high school, college age. There are several books that have been written by different people that, letters to my daughter, letters to my son, things I want you to know. And I found so much in those. It doesn't specifically say this is St. Thomas or this, but it's about, when you go through life, you may meet some people that you can specifically help, your skill to help them, make sure you take advantage of that.
Sure.
And I guess you have to pay attention to who wrote them, but I found they're real people wrote them, they're distilled.
Yeah, you don't necessarily want letters from Adolf Hitler to
No.
his spouse.
Very good, not scholarly, simple, understandable.
Yeah, the other end of this is it's got to come out in human. I'm a big advocate of common language, okay? So I dance away from words like subsidiarity, but they're really kind of necessary every now and then to clarify how, the larger whole relates to the immediate group of people and so forth. Any other comments, questions? Are we doing all right, Eric, on time? We will be cast out into the netherworld if we...
Actually, I think it would be lovely if you could stay for some community conversation while we have some food.
Sounds good by me. I didn't have breakfast.
But thank you very, very much for coming.